And I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Rayman Origins is a 2011 platform video game developed and published by Ubisoft. Originally released for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 and Wii, Rayman Origins is a side-scrolling platformer the same style as the original Rayman game, and the first game in the series to ever include a co-op mode where you can play with up to 4 players. At the beginning of the game, Bubble Dreamer, Rayman, his best friend Globox, and a couple of Teensy's friends are chilling out at Bubble Dreamer's resting grounds, the Snoring Tree. Their snoring, with the help of a strange microphone disguised to resemble a flower, disturbs an old granny from the land of the living dead, who attempts to wake them up but fails, causing the heroes to make 2 times the amount of noise. As this happens, the old granny retaliates by sending the dog tunes. This causes Bubble Dreamer to go crazy, and as a result, have nightmares. Rayman and his friends, being woken up, attempt to fight back, but are defeated and captured, which is where the real adventure begins. Rayman escapes and finds the Dogtoons have captured the Electoons that inhabit the world, and plunge the Glade of Dreams into chaos. Rayman and his friends are then tasked by the magician to gather enough Electoons to cure Bubble Dreamer and restore the Glade. Their efforts to locate the Electoons allow them to gain access to the various lands of the Glade, and rescue the nymphs along the way. Rayman then starts to travel through the jungle, in which he will meet the first nymph, who is captured by a Dogtoon. Saving a nymph in the game causes Rayman to gain a new ability. The first one given to you is the ability to attack, and others come along the way such as gliding and swimming. As Rayman is now able to attack, he is able to punch through and complete the remaining section of the level. Every level in this game consists of Rayman having to collect Electoons, in which there are usually 5 in each level, with a few only having 3, which we'll get to later on. 3 are provided for Rayman by freeing Electoons, with 1 being at the end of each level. 1 is provided to Rayman if he completes a time trial, and the final 2 are given if the player is able to collect 300 lums, 150 for 1. Throughout each level, players can collect yellow lums, which they will need for Electoons. When a character collects a Lum King, it turns all lums red for a short time, which makes them worth 2 lums. There are also skull coins placed in hidden or dangerous areas. They are worth 25 lums if successfully collected. If the player gets harmed while collecting a skull coin, they will lose it and be forced to go and collect it again. The first area is called Gibberish Jungle. The levels here go by It's a Jungle Out There, Geyser Blowout, Go With The Flow, Swinging Caves, Over the Rainbow, and the final, Hi Ho Mosquito. In the final level, which in this case is Hi Ho Mosquito, Rayman will ride in a mosquito in an automatic side-scroller, where players can shoot enemies or inhale and fire them. Oh, and by the way, if a character is hit by an enemy or hazard, they will quote-unquote bubbleize. If that is the case, in single player, the player will be forced to respawn from the last checkpoint, but in co-op mode, the player can be saved if they are slapped or jumped on to return to a normal state. After Rayman has successfully completed the mosquito level, he has now reached a new area called Desert of... I'm not even going to try and pronounce that word. Rayman then enters this new area, which once again I will never know how to pronounce, even though this game came out in 2011. He will be forced to do the same thing as the previous area, which is quite literally complete a new set of levels, with the last one being once again the mosquito side-scroller. This continues on for a few areas, but you will end up crossing one of my favorites, which is Gourmand Land. I mean, just take a listen to these soundtracks for a moment. After every single nymph has been rescued and all 5 areas have been cleared, you'll reach the final area, Moody Clouds, which, of course, is the very final of the game, right? Well, no. Eventually they make their way to a mysterious gate, which can only be opened by rescuing the Glade Kings, who have been turned into monsters as a result of Bubble Dreamer's nightmares. Rayman and his friends therefore are instructed to rescue the king from the nightmares, in which 4 new levels unlock, which are basically just expansions to the previous levels. This includes ticklish temples, grumbling grottos, which this time I can't pronounce thankfully, Lucius Lakes, and angsty abyss. This time levels are a little bit more challenging, but at the end of each one, instead of having a side-scroller level, the player will be forced to defeat a boss each time in order to return the Glade Kings to a normal state. After all 4 have been rescued, you can see on the main map the king providing power to the mysterious gate, which can now be opened by the nymphs, allowing you to continue to the hideout. There, they discover that their supposed friend, the magician, is the one responsible for all of the chaos. Mr. Dark, the villain of the original Rayman, is behind the events that caused the land of the living dead forces and nightmares to attack, preoccupying the heroes and using the lumps they had given him to power and use his diabolical machines. The magician then sends Rayman and his friends into a pit with his mechanical monsters, but they manage to escape and return to his office. The magician then begins to dance and sends them into a dancing funk. Using this as a good time to escape, the heroes chase after and fight the magician in his escape airship. The resulting chain of events causes the hideout to explode, while Rayman and his friends free fall back to the snoring tree, where they proceed to resume their relaxation. What a lovely ending, except that there is another ending which you can get. Did you know you can actually get into the land of the living dead if you complete a set of challenges? During your playthrough of this game, you will notice that there are bonus missions in each one of the areas. These are tricky treasure levels in which you quite literally have to chase a treasure chest from one end of the map to the other. Little side rant here. Why does the difficulty go from 0 to 100 so quickly? All of a sudden you have to perform the most specific jumps, and if you fail any single one of those, or go too slowly, you have to restart from the beginning. Anyways, little side run over now. Every time you get one of these chests, you will get a tooth. Once you have collected all 10, you may enter the land of the living dead itself, which by far getting through this is the hardest thing to do in the entirety of the game. Have fun trying for yourself out there. After this absolute headache of a level, you will face a new boss, which, by the way, is called Big Mama, I kid you not. Once defeated, it is revealed to be a nymph of the land of the living dead, turned into a nightmare because of the Dark Tombs, and there she thanks her saviors for freeing her. Alright, so just before this video ends, I wanted to update you guys on things that are coming up. Yes, I do plan on making more videos, and yes, I do plan on being a lot more consistent with the things that I do. I also wanted to talk about how I will be changing certain things on the actual channel, such as the banner and maybe even the profile picture, in order to make the channel a little more appealing. I know I haven't uploaded in about 2 months, but hey, you can catch me live on Twitch from time to time. That will be all. Stay safe.